to go live right now, buddy.
All right.
I just have to post this link.
Has this got a magnet?
That'd be fun.
No, I'd tear it up. Wouldn't it? What the hell? How does this work? I've never used it.
You just have to hold it.
Well, let's see it though. I've never used a webcam.
Did you skip the 90s? Hey, there's some people coming on board now. Switching cameras, bear with me here. Hopefully you have a plan, Dan.
Or I'll get something started here, but it's really talking to you late.
Man, you got the email, I guess.
Oh, I just know it. No.
Waiting on people to come on board here.
Well, everybody, while he's doing this here, because the people that he's going to be talking to already know who he is. So most of you guys don't, but Seth over here and Sean started this meetup about a year ago. Okay, and when they started it, I don't even know that very many people knew what private label was, as far as branding their own products, stuff like that. And as you can see, it's growing quite a bit in this area of town. So anyway, there's ones that started the meetup, and there's ones that actually renewed our fee for the year. Thanks.
There was a fee?
Thanks.
You got that squats?
But it's a write-off. Everything's a write-off.
What I keep hearing.
But anyway, it's I just want to thank these guys for getting us started. And it's a great opportunity, low price entry to get into something that could actually change your life. I believe that it's changing mine immensely, and there's a few other people that I'm hoping that are right around the corner of getting change. So he'll be speaking here in a minute and giving an update on how their business is taking off. He'll probably do that with his group online, but as well. And they brought in some special people that may want to speak to us as well. I think maybe. Hey, anytime I heard that the value of the room goes up, somebody's got to talk.
Yeah, that's fun. I can't get the webcam to work. I guess I'm not smart enough.
I don't know. You just plug it in, as far as I know.
Well, I guess we can just see this number. There we go. There you go. Somebody put in the comment box if you can hear us okay or not. Just do the sound check. Sorry. I hear you. All right, sweet. Okay. If you know anybody else that wanted to join us, just have them go to my Google Plus page and click the link that I just posted. That's all I can tell you. So, all right. That's toward the box. What's your plan, Dan?
Okay, well, I made the introduction. Usually we do around the table, but there's a whole lot of new folks here tonight that, and then some people were new over the last couple of meetings. Really, it's like Scott, Tracy, all right. Gary.
Sounds like you need another intro.
Yeah, I do. I need another intro. And Gary, we're kind of like the core, I think, that's been coming around all the time, and we usually have a little round table with us, and Chrissy also has been coming, and she's about to get off the ground pretty soon. And then everybody else is kind of new. We have some retail arbitrage guys that are switching gears down here, David, and who's James? James here. That James. Is there another James here? William. I think James William. But yeah, William. He has a partner, and they're getting off the ground. I don't know where they're at yet. Hopefully we'll get an update from them. We got 3 hours to discuss it. So we'll see how it goes.
Our viewers are starting to come in, so hopefully we'll find it.
But this is basically how it goes. We typically just go around the table, say, hey, how's it going? What have you been doing? That's how it goes. It takes 2 hours. with 6 people. So anyway, Tracy. Oh, okay.
Right.
Ray, is this you new to this?
Kind of.
Okay.
I'm Sean's dad.
Oh, you're Sean's dad?
I
So
don't
you're,
know how to spell W.
oh, okay. So you're Sean's dad?
Yeah.
Well, hey, he's the reason we're all here.
Wow, I'm the reason about that. I'll put you on the spot there, old man.
Okay, Tracy, go ahead and tell everybody. There's a lot of new folks here. How long you been selling on Amazon?
Man, he does live on there.
Okay. Oh,
Vendor says, okay, we'll give you 2,000.
I don't know. It should maybe look for an insured shipper, I guess.
I think we had that happen with barbecue products last, and basically donating probably a packaging problem, maybe.
Well, I don't know, it could be a lot of them, but I was curious. When you have-
Sourcing agent?
Sourcing
Freighter?
agent or your freight on.
Freight forwarder?
Freight forwarder. Salesperson, the vendor says, okay, yeah, we'll give you another $1,000. Checks me out. Do I say another 2,000 to ship it? Or do I say, hey, Kite, can you pay the 2,000 because you were supposed to inspect it? But he just does a random check. He just picks out one.
Sounds to me like
from
you're
your
stuck.
years of experience, this is my question for you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a
Sounds to
tough
me
one,
like
right?
you're stuck. I mean, it's not like
So,
it's not like Walmart or Amazon, unfortunately. If they want to make it right, they will, but in most cases, I don't think they're going to do that. Just chalk it up as a learning experience. You know, a lot of times we find that our packaging comes, you know, they're just going to use the cheapest rice paper they can, and when it shows up, our stuff will be all scratched up and dented and broken, and, you know, it's just part of the learning curve. I know that's not what the answer you were looking for, but try to get someone over in China to make it right with you, I think it's going to be an uphill battle. Probably not worth the time invested.
Yeah, I don't know. The insured freight, I mean, you have to buy insurance for it, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe
Any
still
of
find a
those
way to
do it.
wiggle out of that.
Do they?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. It's an insurance, so, yeah.
I had that problem once with a container, and they said, yeah, we'll cover it if the boat sinks and the container's lost, but not if it just gets shaken up and broken, so whatever. Yeah.
Sorry, Tracy.
We usually never even worry about shipping
Well, I
insurance.
didn't have that extreme scenario, but I just
Oh.
saw it. I didn't lose 3,000. I just thought.
Well, you
easy
potentially
numbers
could
for
have.
anyways. My one scenario that I shared 2 meetings ago with the packaging, the box. The box is wrong. So I'm pulling them out. It's supposed to be a nice little rectangular box, and one corner is dented in, like you punched it in. You know, we're talking a big event. So they said they could solve that by reshipping the packaging. You know, they'll just ship me empty boxes. Well, and that's fine too, except I never intended to become
A repacker.
a labor person. Yeah, I don't want to spend hours reboxing items and stuff. And then I did check some of the interior when he said, well, is it just the outside of the box or the inside? And I was like, well, it's just the outside. Then later I thought, I'll open a box. And so I did have some damage. But then we had the problem of, well, the amount that was damaged was going to cover the shipping.
Yeah. That's really, I never worry about it. I think it's the least of my worries.
We
All
were
right.
using the damaged box stuff as our sample, as our
Yeah.
samples.
Yeah, that's what you send for your review during Merchant Fulfill.
I'm Scott, it's my wife Jamie. We actually got involved last November, and I'd say we officially went live with products fulfilled by Amazon maybe March. And went to the EWU trip with Sean and found a bunch more items that we wanted to source. And I basically started getting boxes, I don't know, last several weeks, and we got the mother load, I don't know, about a week ago. And so I'm still sorting through all that stuff to get that stuff on, and we're going to go from basically one item online to about 16. So it's a huge step for us.
Wow.
That's a huge step for anybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, that's where we're at.
So you got all that stuff from the China trip that we went.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool. We just got the mother load too from our China trip. I think it was my brother called me the other day. I said, "There's this big container here. We don't have any room for it. Guess you're gonna have to label faster." I don't know. I've seen it. It's nuts. I forgot half the stuff I bought. It's fun. Wasn't it exciting to see your name on the box, or did you go that route?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, it was the contacts we made over there. I mean, were phenomenal. They were English-speaking contacts, so that's awesome. I'll throw this out there too. Most Chinese, at least that I've come across, use an app called WeChat, and that's their version of Messenger or whatever. So instead of doing the email thing all the time, you can just WeChat right now.
They got me using WhatsApp and QQ and Viber, or Fiber. I can't pronounce it, so they call it Viber. iMessage, all kinds of weird messaging apps.
But kind of to the point that you mentioned, one of our products that arrived wasn't exactly as described, so I was like, okay, communication, error there, or translation problem, or whatever. But we ultimately, through our agent that I met there in Indy, he went back to them, and we haggled back and forth a little bit, but they basically credited me half my purchase price. I mean, I said, I'm not sending these back. I'm not paying for shipping
You
on
didn't
that.
expect that, did you?
No. And he said, what do you want me to do with it? I said, well, if it's okay with you, just keep the money and then fly to my next order or whatever. He said, done.
Okay.
That's us.
We're going a little quick
My name's
today.
Lisa and Bree, my son Isaac, and we're not really selling on Amazon. I sold things on our report around, but definitely curious. And anything Sean's doing, it's always like, what's up with this?
So you travel a lot.
Can you see the resemblance? Not prettier, but.
And I'd love to find a way for Isaac to
Gosh, it's amazing. It seems like you guys were in Chicago. It was just 5 or 6 years ago. He's crawling around, still peeing his pants, and now he's 13 years old.
That's all right, Isaac. All right, what we
dude,
got?
Man.
Yeah, he is.
And I heard you're the
Big
brain,
eyes.
too. This kid can write, like, smartphone apps and stuff, right? No? Like, Grandpa's been bragging on you.
You should have said yes.
I'm Jody. I'm at a retail store and I think they're buying other people, not doing anything.
Oh, good group to get in then.
Oh, I'm Ryan and Kathy. I came to spell a friend of mine. I didn't hear you. Kellen. So I just spoke to
There.
He's behind you.
Oh, there he is.
Steve.
I'm Nick Waffles. I heard that.
It's my banker's son. Anytime my banker's son wants to come somewhere, I say, yeah, bring him. I want to keep her happy. You'll learn a lot, Nick. I hear he's a risk taker, so.
I'm David. I started with retail arbitrage probably the first of the year. Worked my way up and pretty much done with that. I made inventory to sell out what's left. I got my second set of samples on their way from China. Made some modifications, customized it, and then we're actually doing samples from 2 different suppliers right now because I had some issues.
Go back.
My name is Dan.
my funny guys.
Mm-hmm. Now hold yourself accountable too. Go ahead. No, Chrissy.
I'm Chrissy. I started with some sample products on Amazon in November and had a good month in December. Of course, it died down after that, so I've been working on getting everything together to put my first product up. And I finally found an investor yesterday, so I'm
awesome.
Cash, and tomorrow I'm making an order to get the first shipment of about right now. I'm kind of selling the other things here and there, not big.
That's okay.
Did you ever sell your cocks that you were invested in?
Some of them, that's what I'm selling here and there.
Isn't that what you called it?
That's
Like
what
a rooster or something? I don't know.
Yes, that's what Addie and Amor call.
Okay. That's the last conversation I had with her.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
I know, I'm pretty sorry.
Hey, my name is James. I'm selling and wanted to see how everything is. Heard a really good thing about
Thanks, James.
Been selling on Amazon pretty extensively since 2011, mostly arbitrage, retail, and online, and moving more and more to just online arbitrage and trying to automate that process. So I'm not in it very much. I don't do any of the processing or anything. I've got people hopefully lined up to start doing the shopping too. And we went to China with Sean and bought 6 products there. And I've got a partner, and we're about to order our 7th.
Gary's the guy that knows probably the ins and outs of both the arbitrage and especially the online stuff.
And you can find some really good stuff.
Good stuff
with
there.
arbitrage. You can find some really good stuff that a hot seller. We found stuff that retailers have sold and then they stopped selling, and it's not on Amazon anymore. It's stuff that we sold.
Yeah, that's great. And then
How you doing with your China product? Your 6?
Those we're 2 of them. I was talking to Danny before. 2 of them are kind of a winter product, so
You're just
wasn't
kinda
great. So
getting
we're kind of
geared up.
waiting till
sitting
August,
on them.
September to do anything with those. 2 of them are clothing products, one of which is a winter product. So we're kind of school just got out for us, so we're really getting ready to launch all of them pretty much this month.
Now Gary makes all that money and still decides he wants to fulfill his life of teaching high school
I
kids.
knew you were a teacher.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a teacher. What did you teach English? Is it?
Yes,
Senior English.
My
Yeah.
Uber driver yesterday was a teacher.
Go ahead.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mike. I've known Sean forever. Sean got me started last fall. I've been dragging my feet. My first order is being shipped.
Oh,
Being shipped to Amazon?
Yeah.
Shipped.
No, to me.
to you.
The first order.
I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna
You
go
got
back
one
there.
product you got ready to do, huh?
All right, we're gonna go ahead and go back next, right here to
Thought
listen.
you got off, didn't you, Caleb?
Yeah, you didn't. I was coming back to you. Good job, Caleb.
Looks like stuff.
Yeah, they do look awesome. Yeah.
I'm Charles, and I've been dabbling with Amazon for about a year now. Nowhere near the success of these guys here, but yeah, my main thing is I do a lot of direct response marketing online. So that's kind of where I have supplement business offline. A little bit different model, but I'm also actually been spending the past year training a project manager to run my Amazon business. So I'm here running from these groups here.
Well, we're going to learn from you, too, buddy.
Yeah, the direct response is pretty nice. Gotta make it offline, too. You're off Amazon too.
My name's Terry. Charles brought me tonight. I used to work with him for about 5 years, and I've been selling on Amazon for about 2 years. Didn't really know that there was anything like this out there. Been mainly selling vitamins, stuff for preppers. You know, anybody that wears a tinfoil hat, they buy stuff. So, that's pretty much what I do.
That's awesome.
Where's that leave us?
That's you, Sean.
Oh, okay. Well, if you don't know me, my name's Sean. Seth, Sasquatch-looking guy over there is my business partner. I was like in the beginning the face of this, but really he's the brains behind the operation. He's the one that keeps our boat floating, keeps everything selling, you know, running smoothly. A lot more organized than I am. Sales and marketing is my gig, so you know I look at the Amazon platform as a way to launch lots and lots of new products, you know, and be able to test the market easier than anywhere else without a lot of investment. You know, I guess that's relevant, but anyway. I'm proud of Danny and you guys keeping the group going because we actually, like Seth said, we launched this group last year just trying to find some more like-minded people. You know, we had 4 or 5, and a couple times we had 15 people show up, but really nobody was doing anything. So it's kind of exciting to see that you guys are moving forward and things are happening for you. I'm sorry. You know this guy?
Okay. I just want to make sure you got on the internet.
Oh, we did. I appreciate it, buddy. Yeah, we got it. Thanks for checking.
So yeah, and we've had really unbelievable success using private label. When we first started our business, we were doing retail arbitrage just because we didn't know any better, but always wanting bigger, better, faster, cheaper, do things more profitable. You know, I quickly found out that there was really a ceiling to what I could do because you know I can't go out and buy truckloads of product that are going to sell really well. So I started messing around with importing my own products that kind of it looked similar enough to other people's product, you know, that was generic on Amazon that we could jump on and piggyback their listing. And that's when I realized that how big the opportunity really was because going into Christmas must have been 2013. You know, I was just selling stupid rubber bands and toys, and you know, I did like $250,000 in sales in a really short time period. And that's when I was telling Seth, I said, "Hey, Seth, you should check this opportunity out." He jumped in, and you know, long story short, we decided to join forces and build a company around it. And it's been phenomenal. I mean, we've had 18 months or how long have we been doing this now? About 18 months straight of growth every single month. Well, except for 1 month. I think we had 1 month that was a little stagnant, wasn't it?
After December.
Yeah, it was like January was kind of a little flat, but you know, we grow every single month. Right now, we have probably close to 400 different products, you know, unique products on Amazon, and things are going crazy. You know, it's amazing how often the opportunity changes, and you find out a new way to promote your products, or find out, you know, a better way to package them, or you know, a way to drive more traffic to your listing. And really, that's why I like to be involved in things like this because, believe it or not, I learn from people who are doing really small business on Amazon. And, you know, they'll say something. I'm like, wow, I never really thought about it that way. It happens all the time. Like the gentleman over here that I tried to embarrass earlier. I mean, he does display ads, and he does it so well that the Amazon probably looks small and insignificant to him. I'd really like to crawl inside of your head for a couple of days and figure out how can we plug what you know into our business and vice versa. You know, like we talked about over lunch, but, you know, when you get away from that, things get so busy and start moving fast and you kind of forget where you left it. But, I mean, you guys are doing several $1 million a year in sales off of Amazon, right?
Yeah,
but it's all online. And, you know, he's not using any of the things that we talk about and use in our business. So, you know, it's a great opportunity to network with other people and try to figure out how we can plug what they're doing into our business to make it better. I'm excited about it. It's like one of the few businesses that I've been in where, you know, 18 months in, I'm still fired up about it every day because, you know, the playing field changes all the time and it just keeps me interested.
Well, some of the people that are probably online, because I invited out too, as well as you did, and or it might be recorded and they'll look at it later. But
I don't think
you know, a lot of folks are probably, and since Sladage couldn't be here, he had to get on a plane. But anyway, if you want to talk about the opportunity after he started a year ago and maybe and what it's done now and how this business can actually balloon into something even totally different.
He actually might be watching. I can't remember how this works, but Slater, you told me you might be watching. If you're live, man, just send me a text and I'll figure out a way to get you on here. But I'll try to talk for you in the meantime. There's a few things I really don't want to talk about because we're online. Some of the stuff that we talked about in China. So
that's
don't bring that up if you don't.
No,
if you don't
I won't.
Because this is permanent record.
Yeah.
But, I mean, nothing shady, but you don't really want to give everybody the keys to the bank, right? So
there's some things. This thing is going till 9 o'clock. So if there's things just for this private group here that you people online won't be able to hear, that's too bad.
Yeah, exactly. We'll shut this down after a little while. But there's a lot of people that couldn't make it that just wanted to listen in and watch online. So that's why they're on here. But
they should have flew to Indy.
Yeah, exactly. But Seth and I will answer any questions you might have, but don't get your feelings hurt if we want to pick your brain about what you guys are doing and see how we can, work somehow synergistically to make both of us better. So you don't mind, do you, Seth? I call it parting the curtain. When you tell somebody you're doing $1 million a month in sales on Amazon, selling junk from China, they're always like, wow, how do you do that? Well, it's like anything else. You got to start at step one, and just keep building on that. And luckily for, Seth and his team that we have in our office here in Indy, they keep everything organized. And basically my job has been reduced to showing up a couple days a month and giving him a hard time for being ugly. And I'm just jealous of his youth, actually. And, I identify new product opportunities and source the product, negotiate price, and then basically turn it over to these guys and they work their magic. He's the all-powerful Oz, right? Slater, but Danny was just talking about, he's a friend of ours. I think, don't you know Slater too, don't you, Charlie? Yeah. So he was an ASM guy from like ASM2 or something like that. Seth and I ran into him at the Vegas Live event. I think it was probably in July of last year, if I'm not mistaken. And we just hit it off, started talking and sharing ideas and whatnot. And he had just launched his business. He was selling one little product that he was sourcing here in the States. And I think, he's paying about $5 for the product and selling it for $20. And he was doing about $12,000 that month? Was it $5? Okay, so we seen him in July last year, so it's not even been a year. He was at $5,000 a month. Well, he's progressively increased that, and now he has exact same product, the same thing he was selling before, but he has like 3 or 4 different flavors or colors or however you want to say it, versions, all the same, besides whatever the positioning. And his business, last time he told me, he was doing like 170, 180,000 a month in sales. And he just recently accepted an offer for 1.8 million for his business, getting $1 million cash up front at closing and then 800,000 over a few years. So really proud of Brandon that he was able to get that job done. He's supposed to close that deal sometime in July. And he was actually here in town working with our team, for just as a buddy deal, I guess. He asked us to help him get things going so that he can make sure he has these strong sales growth going into his closing. And him and Seth worked together for the last 3 days. Yeah, he was supposed to be here today too, they discovered some things together, just brainstorming. And Seth brought me in on that, and I'm like, wow, that's a great idea. I think they increased one of his units. They somehow did a promotion on it and got 350 sales out of it in just a couple of hours, which really launched him, as far as his sales velocity goes on Amazon. So he's happy with it. And unfortunately, his wife had some medical issues, nothing life-threatening, but, they're a long ways from family. So he had to go back to Seattle to tend to that. So he couldn't be here today.
Well, I was just wanting to hear a little bit about that because, everybody here is just trying to grow and do some sales. But, what Brandon did, he did real well with his branding. I mean, bottom line is he built a brand. He didn't just throw stuff out there. I mean, he built a brand, he built it up, and he concentrated on that one thing. He didn't need 400 items like their business side does. He took one thing and he built it up, and now he's flipping it. He's making decent money. Now, I don't know what his next business model is going to be, but I bet you it's going to be a little closer to the same.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he's retained all that profit along the way, plus he gets a big chunk.
Yeah.
And Brandon, he was a cubicle guy a year ago. As
Yeah.
a matter of fact, we tried to partner with him to start a new business, and we just couldn't get him to leave his 9-to-5 job that he had. Not really 9-to-5, but just figure
Full-time job.
Yeah, but he finally left that job. He works his business full time, and he's having tremendous success with it. So that's just one of many stories. I actually was meeting with the private equity guy yesterday, I believe it was. I got here last night. It was yesterday at lunch. I met with a guy in Houston, and he has a retail arbitrage business that does about $8 million a year, and he's netting 800, 900,000, which to me sounds ridiculous because of the margins we're used to, but his goal. He's talked to a lot of other brokers. What they're trying to do is aggregate a bunch of Amazon businesses together, like ours, like Brandon's, and even businesses like yours. Do you prefer Charles or Charlie? Okay. All right, Charles. Sounds better to me.
I thought for sure you'd say Chuck.
Anyway, in business like yours too, he's trying to put those together, and he has private equity people out there who are paying 6 to 8 times multiple for these businesses that are netting a minimum of $3 million a year. So what we're trying to work out is take our company and his and a couple of other players and put them together. And he already has people at the table willing to look at deals for 6 to 8 times earnings. So basically, if you don't know what I'm talking about, for every dollar you make, they'll pay you $8 forward cash is how they buy it, which is unbelievable. I think the last business that I sold was a really good business, direct response, but not so much online. We got like 3.5 times, which we thought was a great stretch. But on this e-commerce business, they want like a year of history, historical figures, and they want pretty decent cash flow, of course. But what we're hearing, because we're dealing with some brokers on selling some of our brands, we haven't successfully pulled the trigger, although I actually had an offer on one yesterday. I have 2 more offers coming today. Did you see that email? What our idea is develop all these brands. Going into this thing, it's not just about a lifestyle business or cash flow. Our strategy all along has been to build some value and then cash out. Once you do that once or twice, you're just kind of addicted to it. Once you taste that blood, you just can't wait to start another one. Like you said, Brandon's business is going to be pretty similar to the one he's selling. So anyway, what we're hearing, you have really small buyers who are getting bank financing for businesses that are making, 100, 150,000 a year net. They're getting like 1.5, 2 times earnings. Not a big deal, but they're not accredited buyers or sophisticated buyers by no means. They're just, guys who retire from school teaching and they want to invest their money and have something to keep them busy. The next level that we get to from there, the way I understand this is that when you get to $1 million in net profit annually, and you have a year of historical data, then you can get 3 to 4 times, 5 times if you have more than a year. Am I telling that right? And once you get over the 3 million mark, then you can get 6 to 8 times earnings. Which really, guys, if you think about Seth and I, even though you guys I usually don't talk about all the problems. You just hear about all the rainbows and butterflies and lollipops, but there are problems, like Tracy pointed out, with shipping and dealing with suppliers. I tend to not focus on that. I focus on growing the business, not so much on what I'm stumbling on along the way. But if you think about, even though we're go-getters to the extreme, we have a huge team behind us, and we're just on fire about it every day. But being able to build what we built in 18 months is really profound in today's world, using someone else's platform. We don't have a warehouse. We don't even have a shipping account, and there's no phone line in my office. Now just think about that for a second. And that opportunity is there for everyone. I'm sure it's getting harder as time goes on, but to be able to build that business, basically if we net $3 million this year from that company, we can sell that for $18 million and take the money off the table. That should get you excited, because I love to sell widgets, but I like cashing checks a hell of a lot better. And plus, to think that you can go back and rebuild that again, another product line, because you'll, like Brandon, you won't be able to compete in that same category, but you know, he knows what it takes to do it, and he can do it a lot faster the second time around. So we're kind of at the point where we don't know if we want to spin off our brands and sell them for 2 to 3 times, you know, just to get some cash going, or if we want to keep all that together and sell it as one big company. So that's kind of the struggle we're at right now. Yeah.
Well, 8 times 3.
Yeah, exactly. So
you know what you want to do, but
we're having conversations like, well, we really don't have anywhere to go with the cash, so let's hold on to it, build more value, and then get a bigger multiple down the road. And that's the struggle. But when people are waving money in front of you, kind of like, well, maybe we should take some money off the table, right, Seth? Say something intelligent, Seth.
Right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Seth. You got some? Oh.
So
we're just trying to help.
We broke a record the other day. It's probably nothing, you know, compared to what Charles is doing, but we have, you know, our basic day in sales is, you know, $25,000 to $30,000 a day average, but we had some anomalies where we've done like $80,000, $90,000 in one day. This is strictly Amazon, guys. And when you see a day like that, like I remember a couple of weeks ago, I was on an airplane, and you know, for some reason I bought that Go wireless internet and I refreshed my Amazon on one of our accounts. I'm like, wait a minute, I just went from 5,000 to 25,000 for the daily sales. So I text Sasquatch over there. I'm like, what the heck's going on with this? He said, I don't know. Let me check. It must be a mistake. So, and we're talking like within minutes. Okay, so maybe 3 or 4 minutes passes by. I refresh it again. It's like 44,000. I have all the screenshots because I'm like, snap. Something's going on. I'm texting him, and he's trying to figure out what's going on. He's in the middle of building a house and everything. And so I was on a flight to Atlanta or something. But by the time I got to Atlanta, it was like $78,000 or something like that. It was nuts. I mean, within 2 hours. And, you know, we're working on a way to duplicate what happened that day, which, you know, is something we didn't have any control over. Like you remember Xander. He was telling me about he had this $50,000 week or something on a brand new launch product because he called it a, what did he call it? A religious leader, I think was the term he used, blogged about his product. And then, you know, all of a sudden it just went through the roof. And I was like, well, why can't you duplicate that? He's like, believe me, I've already emailed the guy and said, hey, I'll send you all the samples you want. I'll even pay you a commission. Just blog them some more. So, I mean,
so I'm wondering if like Amazon maybe did just for the heck of it, send an email drop out with your product on it, and you just blasted out that one product. You know, one of your main ones. You know,
we know what caused that, and you know, we can talk about it a little bit once I get rid of these guys. But it's definitely something that's duplicable, but it's not easy. But you know, I'll definitely let you guys in on that. I mean, you just did it for Brandon. You know, Brandon was like, wow, I love this. So he starts, as his sales were climbing, like, we're talking minutes, guys, like hundreds of orders. He starts bumping his price up, you know. He said, what do you say? It's like a video game to him. He's all like refreshing and changing his price and watching it. It's pretty exciting stuff, really. You think about, you know, hundreds of millions of people out there that have credit cards on file with Amazon that are there to buy stuff. All we have to do really is just put in front of them what it is that they want to buy. It's pretty simple. You know, make sure there's enough margin in it. You like that, Isaac?
Margin. You like margin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Profit.
Smiling.
Yeah.
He's here. He just knows if he takes a candy bar to school and he paid a quarter for it, he wants to get $1 out of it.
So, how are you guys getting along? How's your sales doing?
Yeah, we're doing all right. Like I said, right. Our main thing that we have right now is pretty much one. We've got a couple listings, but the first few we put on there were fulfilled by us, merchant, just to kind of get our feet wet to see how everything worked. And then
it's important. It's amazing what kind of chemical change takes place when you actually get an order and you package it and ship it. And you're like, wow, there's people out there in cyberspace that are buying my junk. I think it's beautiful.
Well, I feel like a crack addict with my Amazon app.
Yeah, I know.
refresh. My son's like, what are you doing? I said, just.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Let me see if I haven't dumped my photos yet. It should still be in my photo stream. Show you some good stuff.
Lay one block, check my app. Lay another block, check my app.
I checked it 30 times today.
Until December.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I missed December. I ran out of stock in December. Everybody's telling me how their December is going, and I was completely out of stock.
Okay.
I did $500.
All right. This is real stuff, guys. May 4th. Okay. So what's that? A month ago? I said 2 weeks ago. I'm old, I guess. All right. So I'm looking at my Amazon app. Does this look familiar?
Yeah.
So it's May 4th, 5:44 p.m. This is when I first noticed something was wrong. $15,304. Okay. That was 5:44 p.m. At 5:58 p.m., $24,549. So I'm blowing Seth up. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Is somebody scamming us? You know, I think there's some guru in Philippines somewhere hacking into our system and doing something stupid. So that was 5:58 p.m. And my wife sends me a couple pictures. Let me see here. I'm in the wrong album now. Oh, you don't want to see those pictures. I'm just kidding. Okay, so let's see. All right, here we go. 6:28 p.m., 31,987. And then whatever time that was. This is 6:49 p.m., 38,792. Let's fast forward here. I'm losing you. So I landed. Wait a minute. That's the wrong one. 60. Here we go. At 10 p.m., $68,982. And that didn't stop until it hit like 86,000 or what was the final score? I forget. That, my friends, will get your attention real quick. And then you realize, hey, this is real. Now, let's see if we can, cookie cutter that deal. And that's really what we've been working on.
That's awesome.
Write that down.
Sorry, online guys.
Was it like
They didn't get the visual aid.
Was it like a $50 item, a $100 item, $10?
What was the item, Seth? $25 item? Oh, yeah. It was a $25 or $30,
$25.
something like that. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
how many orders did that say? I didn't even tell you that part. I didn't take a final screenshot, but
Yeah.
it doesn't tell you how
I
many.
was just thinking what pillow convention was going on somewhere.
No, it was actually quite simple, to be honest about it. So, we'll talk about that here.
Jim Jones.
I just don't want to broadcast out in cyberspace,
Jim Jones says, "Oh, everybody order your pillow. It's the end of the world."
Yeah, exactly. Something like that happened to Xander. So
did it? Yeah. Anyway, that I'm glad he went through that because that was one of the reasons we held this. He had almost had that 6-figure day. I was hoping that he matched it by the time we come here, but
no, I think that was just one account, so we probably did that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
okay.
I'd have to go look. We have several accounts,
Right.
I mean, we only have one account. Amazon's listening.
So when you have a product like that, how much you obviously had the stock to take the orders.
Yeah.
So when you're buying your product, at what point did you decide, okay, I need to buy like 10,000 of these items, or I don't know what that. Somebody do the math.
Well, this
how many
particular
items that would
product,
be at $25?
it sells like, we were selling 150, 200 a day or something, and our business model requires us to keep a maximum of 60-day supply. Well, this particular item is ocean freight. It's not an air freight product. So at some point a few months ago, we just ordered like 10 or 15 containers of it. So, which brings me to something else that we're discovering sort of accidentally is that if you have a lot of inventory at Amazon FBA, it seems like they give you a lot more credibility and positioning when it comes to selling products. It's like they almost, it's almost like they know you're a player, so they're going to give you a lot more clout when it comes to getting your product listed. And because Seth, like we talked about before, a lot of the inventory or the products that we have a ton of inventory in are the ones that we're doing the best in. And it didn't happen that way. It was just it's kind of accidentally. We're like, wait a minute. All of a sudden, instead of having 200 in stock, we have, like some products, we have, 12, 15,000 units in stock at FBA. Hello. You looking for AA meeting?
Yeah, Amazon's Anonymous.
Yeah. No. I'm a recovering eBayer. My name's Sean.
Oh, my condolences. I'm Lucy. My husband's actually a member. I joined today, so I hope you
Hey.
She knows me.
Can't throw her off. She's pretty quick.
Yeah.
That makes sense, Sean. 'Cause in arbitrage, even if I have 100 of something and everybody else has lower quantities, you'll find you'll get the buy box more when we send all of our stock in.
Yeah.
You get the buy box more.
Yeah.
It seems.
So we just
that makes
discovered
sense.
it accidentally. So one of the things I wanted to let you guys in on, this is a super, super simple secret. And I've told everybody until I was blue in the face is how it says, right? And a lot of people, like, they're like, oh, that's just super simple and stupid. But this is, and I wish if Daryl was here, he could vouch for us, but I'm talking about the photo thing. So, you know, when we're creating an Amazon listing and we're trying to get ranked for a particular keyword, like water bottle, for example, you know, if you want to sell this, then you have to be relevant to a search. If someone searches water bottle, they see your product. That makes sense? So what we found out, sort of accidentally, maybe it was Alan or one of these SEO geeks. So what the keyword that we're trying to get ranked for is, I mean, that's what we name the photo that we upload to the listing. I know it sounds super dumb and simple, but it's unbelievable the results that you'll get from that. So, you know, like if you take a picture with your digital camera and it, you know, you give it a file name. It could be like HPM 1500 or something, or you named it whatever, pick one, pick two, pick three. Well, what we found is that if we'll take all 9 photos that we have in the listing and we actually name the file name in the computer the same as the keyword we're trying to get ranked for, I mean, it's unbelievable results immediately. I mean, can you speak a little bit on that, Seth? Because you see it every day. It's part of our protocol, every single listing. If we're trying to get ranked for sunglasses, our pictures are called sunglasses 1, sunglasses 2, sunglasses 3. I mean, you can literally sell oranges on Amazon and name all your photos apples. If someone types apples, your oranges will show up. It's ridiculous, but it's true. And you see the same thing on your regular SEO, don't you? So
It's
who
all
would?
about relevancy. It's more relevant you can make it to be exactly what they're typing in to look for.
And simple, right? I mean, you don't want a super long file name. You want it to.
How many words would you say is too many? Is 5, 3?
I don't know what we're doing. I just have the concept in my head. Tell us, what are we doing?
Well, Daryl's example was he was on page 5 with a really difficult keyword and changed his file name. Immediately went to number 3.
Immediately means what?
You refresh the page.
How's that? Somebody write that down. I'm telling you, that's powerful
I already
stuff.
do it.
It's so
I'm on
simple.
page 1 a lot.
Troy said when he got home from China, he tried it and it worked.
Who said that? Oh, Troy.
Troy Schaefer.
Okay, yeah. It's nuts. Now it's different. It's like, you know, if you're already killing it and you change it's not such a profound bump if you're already doing well. But if you're really not, if you're insignificant in that niche and you change it, I mean, it's just immediate.
Would you recommend using competitor keywords like brand names of their? If somebody searched for that brand,
They don't like it. It's against terms of service,
pictures,
but
they wouldn't notice it as much, right?
well, unless they do a Google search and then your product could come up, which is nice.
Right.
We're not doing that, are we? I mean, they're just simple keywords, right?
What he did was squeeze as many in there as he could.
That's what Daryl did? Okay.
And then the one that he was really trying for, the one that he moved that much, he included that specific keyword of those files. But he has different keywords. Yeah, he kind of makes them up, but it's similar to his title.
So you're going to say water, bottle, plastic, clear.
.jpg. Exactly. I know, isn't that stupid? But it works.
I name mine too, so I already do. So, and I name them all different. Just
Do
like,
you?
yeah.
Okay.
I call product 1, product 2, but if it's got 5 different names, I name them 5 different keywords that I want to rank for.
And when you were talking about inventory, do you ship all of your inventory in, or you keep some? Like you kind of said you didn't have a warehouse, but I thought Seth had an office.
We have like a garage behind our office.
So
And it's
should I
piled
ship
high.
everything in and not worry that Amazon will say, hey, we think you have too much inventory, run some ads? Like I've gotten those emails. Like, let's say I have 5 big boxes.
New accounts have a limit of 5,000.
Well, I knew they had a limit, but they're
But I'm just
telling you
wondering,
to
should I
move
ship it
inventory.
all in? If you say it'll move you up in the rankings,
Well, I
may as
mean,
well have the space.
you ship it in and, you know, start selling it, and then they'll give you more space. I mean, our space is almost unlimited. I mean, we can literally have millions.
I think
of
it's got a
product
lot to do with
capacity
your
on our
velocity.
accounts.
I mean, if you don't have the velocity, they don't want you to ship it all in. I mean, they want to see a little bit of.
Well, I used to watch that when we could only have like 10, 15,
Yeah.
20,000, but now it's literally like 1 million units and we're using 200,000. I mean, it's not even a factor anymore.
I'm not near my limited goal. I'm just wondering if I shipped it all in, maybe that would help it sell
You have a
faster.
limit?
I'm sure I have some limit.
You have an older account.
It's usually like 5,000 regular items,
The limit,
500
the limit's never
oversized.
my concern. It's more like, well, why pay for storage fees? Why
Right.
leave it in the closet? I mean, it was saving the nickels and dimes a little bit. But then now,
For
listening
me,
to
it
what
was
you were
just
saying,
anal not wanting inventory.
well, I was just thinking I should
I don't
put
want it in
there
my
case
life.
there's a surge or something.
get it out of here, you know?
Yeah, well, I'm that way too. I want my clothes.
Exactly. So our closet's kind of big, you know, it's basically a garage behind our office. You know, we just have a little flex space, you know, and they have a place to throw junk in. Right now it's full because we just had a container come in with a bunch of stuff. It's like, you know, 500 of this, 500 of that, 500 of this. And we like to inspect our first order to make sure that, you know, it's not damaged like you had. And, you know, make sure it's labeled correctly. It's easier to do that than it is to send it directly to Amazon and be like, hey, we're not taking this. And then, you know, you got to pay for it twice. But
You said you have a max 60-day supply. That's your rule.
that's what we try to do. That's what he
Max or
promised me he was going to do.
You said max. You said max or minimum.
A maximum. We try to keep a 30-day supply minimum.
Okay.
But if it's a product that's hard, you know, has a long lead time, then 60 days. Because we just, you know, things change so quickly. Like we had a product last year that we were just, I mean, just killing it on Amazon and Groupon. And I think we had like 20,000 units show up, and we sent it in, and it was kind of turned out to be a seasonal product. And now, I mean, we still have probably 5,000 of them. I mean, it's not a huge amount of money compared to the big picture, but still it's kind of a hassle. So we actually have some pretty decent software that tracks our inventory, and it tells us what opportunities we're missing by not having inventory. It's pretty expensive, but hey, Seth, sorry. Can you, well, how much are we paying for our software? The inventory software? So it's $1,000 a month, right? But is that because we have so many different accounts or what? So $1,000 a month. I know it sounds ridiculous, but Seth can he can pull it up and look and see exactly where we stand, exactly how much our inventory is worth at cost, how much it's worth if it's sold, you know, at the current. And I mean, what else does it tell you? I know you love it, but every time I log into it, I'm just overwhelmed with information. Oh yeah, like where they're at. It has a map, like a heat map.
Yeah. So how many days of stock you have left? Based on. So basically, we use it basically mostly for keeping inventory in stock. So if there's so many items, even the software that says, "Hey, order more." So mostly, but there's a lot. There's so much data that it's kind of hard to even think of it all.
Okay. So do you want me to share that? Because there's a lot of different options out there, but I know you have kind of a thing with the developers.
Yeah, I mean, if
If you don't want me to, I won't. Just tell me now.
Go for it.
You know, I have diarrhea of the mouth. You got to slap me to shut me up. It's called Teikometrics. I can't spell it. T-E-I. Yeah. And basically, you know, you just upload the information in there, and it pulls all the data from your Amazon account, which makes it even more beneficial for us because we have several accounts. So instead of logging out, logging in, logging out, logging in, he just switches account 1, account 2, account 3, and can see, you know, snapshot of what everything's doing, which I know makes your job easier, doesn't it? Do you use something like that too, Charles? No?
I'm not at your level yet.
Your spreadsheet?
Yeah.
He's such a humble guy.
For my offline business, I have 5-6 products.
You know who he is, right? Yeah, okay. I loved it when we were out there in Vegas, and all of a sudden you see Charles up there with all abs and muscles, and they're like, "Here's one for the ladies." I'm like, "Where is he?"
You were smiling.
Inventory Lab is another. It's a much less robust program than what you.
I think we used that for a while,
but
we use Inventory Lab, or we still do.
I have it. I don't like it that much, but it is a little nicer to see what you actually sold because Amazon's terrible about giving you daily feedback of what you're actually selling.
It does tell you what you have left in stock.
Yeah, and you can throw a little cost in there, shipping, this and that, little other things.
Did you use that for a while? And were you happy with it, or the other one?
That kind of tells you monthly what you actually sold. So,
yeah.
You know, if you have a product, it's kind of hard to go back and say, well, I sold 6 of these and 5 of these. And it says, here's what you sold, and then it gives you the total cost that you would, apply to that month.
You can do SKUs on it now. So, on a drop down, hit it, but you got to go through each one of them. You know what I mean? It's like, that's tedious. Can I just see all SKUs right now?
Yeah.
Give it to me.
Well, I know Seth lives on Teikometric because every time I'll call him and say, "Hey, how's this going?" Oh, wait a second. He just gives me an answer. then one the other day is like, why don't you just log into our inventory software and check it out for yourself? So I attempted that. It was a little bit overwhelming, you know. It was kind of like looking through a kaleidoscope or something. But that and his other favorite screen is when you're logged into your seller account and it shows you today's sales over yesterday's, and he's like, we're up 30% over this time yesterday. Or,
that's my favorite one with the graph. Yeah, that's my favorite one.
He loves that. I'm like, well, tell me what it looks like at the end of the day. You know?
Oh, what I like checking it before I go to bed and see how much money I made while I was sleeping. I said, man, I made a couple $100 while I was asleep. That was awesome.
How's your business doing anyway?
It was a lot better in January, and that might have had something to do with a whole lot of gift certificates and promotions because I ran promotions like crazy, and then it's just been trickling.
Are you still using your coupon cuties or whatever they are?
Yes.
What do you call them?
Coupon queens.
Yeah, coupon queens.
Coupon queens. Yes, I still use them, and yeah, I still do use them. I don't do as much promoting as I once did because my stuff was just kind of level. So, you know, I could sit there and try to go out and try to get another boost or something, but I don't know that it's going to help me. I'm already on page 1. So
I'm going to tell everybody online, thanks for joining us, guys, but we're going to shut this thing down. We're going to get into some high level stuff that you'll wish you would have made the trip for. So peace.